It's a very exciting day today. All the fans have been waiting for this one. We're going to actually be fabricating and welding some metal together. Who would have thought? The time has come. We're going to be going back to the welding project, which, if you don't know about it, is creating our very own welding table. And today, we're going to be making some progress with it. So, if you're aware already, we have many parts of this project as it goes, because there are different things that need to be put together, and then later down the line those things need to be put together, and then eventually you have your finished product. But today what we're going to be focused on is these little guys, and we're going to be sticking them onto the end of our box sections, which not all of them, because we have multiple pieces of box section that are involved in this, but just the parts where these insides are going to be exposed. And what that's going to help to do is to prevent rusting from the inside of the box section, which will essentially allow for the table itself to have greater longevity. So, without further ado, I am going to be moving all of my shit that is carefully placed in the living room outside, and we're going to get set up and prepared to begin with this journey, or to continue with this journey. So I'll see you very soon. Right, so here we are, everything nice and organised. Didn't quite show you everything there, the metals there, and I'm thinking to get started I want to just have a quick practice, just getting some welds in. So I've got my plate out, and then before we actually start welding anything together, I'm going to do a practice. So I've got a piece of box section here, and here's all my little pieces that are going to be welded on. I'm going to cut two pieces the same size, and we're going to do a practice on this one, because that's going to give us a good idea of how this is going to work, because yeah, if I fuck up the main ones, then that'll be a problem. So let's do a practice first whilst we've got the materials made as well. So I'm going to get set up now. I'm just going to do a bit of practice welding on the plate. So I'll do a little time lapse of that, do some spots, do some lines, and yeah, then I think we'll do those cuts, and we'll get having a go at doing our first bit of actual fabrication, putting some stuff together. Right, that's the practice welding done. I've not knocked the slag off yet, so I'll do that in a second, and then we can have a little look at the welds. Again, this isn't so much about practicing the welding right now, but since I'm going to be doing a bit of welding, I thought, you know what, may as well just have a little bit of practice before we start, just to get me in the rhythm of it. So it's looking at it without having knocked the slag off, it doesn't look too bad. Like, it's not great, it's not amazing, but it's looking good. So yeah, I'm gonna knock the slag off. We're gonna have a quick look at that, and then I think what we'll do is we'll move on to getting these 20 by 20 mil pieces cut, and then we'll start having to practice with the fabrication. So yeah, let's have a go. So here we go, here we go. Can't speak today. So, looking a bit rough, but the spots, these will be fine. Again, we're in the learning phase, guys. It's not going to be perfect. These aren't so bad. Some of them are not great. Like, you see where, I use this to point, you see where there's like 1, 2, 3, almost like 3 spot welds? That's just where I've gone too quick. Same there. Going too quick. That one's nice and consistent. That one's nice and consistent. So yeah, definitely lots of room for improvement. But I'm feeling more confident now that I've done that to move on to the next bit. Before we can move on really to the next bit, I just need to cut some of this here into 2 little squares. So I'm going to cut that now. I'll just do that on the time lapse, and then we're going to have our first go at joining some metal together. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so now that we've got the cut pieces, we've got getting set up so that we can actually begin this process of doing our first bit of proper welding. Well, I mean, we've been doing proper welding, but this is like the whole point of welding really is to piece pieces of metal together. As far as I understand, maybe that's not entirely correct. So, but I know with working with a welder, and not just one welder but multiple, that's what they do. They connect metal, so that's why I'm saying that. I've got my 2 little practice pieces here. We've got our earthing cables set up to this piece of metal which we're going to be welding to. I'm going to take a moment just to get this prepped so that we can basically go for it. Right, so I've got it ready. How I get it prepared as I progress may develop, but for now this is the strategy I'm using. I've got a little piece underneath. I'm using a little bit of an electrode to prop this bit up, and then I'm holding it at the sides of my glove. Everything's ready. I just need to put my other glove on, which is going to maybe be a challenge with one hand, but it's going to be possible. There we go, just flap it about a bit. We're going to record this one in real time so we can see and recall this moment, the first moment that we attach metal to metal. So I think we're ready. We're just going to go for a spot weld right in the middle. Not going to weld the whole thing in one go. Once that's spot welded on, then we're going to have a little look together. So let's go for it. I'm so excited. Oh, it's always helpful to turn the machine on. I'm like, why is it not working? Right, let's give it a second. That's it. That's all it needs. Very small. That burnt my glove, so I need to be careful. Maybe that's not going to be the best way, but we've fucking got it on there. That's attached to my foot. Oh, look at that. Let's take that off. We've fucking done it. So, as you can see, there's gaps, but that's fine. There's going to be gaps. We're going to weld around that, so there's going to be no gaps in the end. But that's it. That's all that fucking needed. Now that's tacked on, now we don't need to hold it with anything. It's holding itself. So what we want to do next, shit, I need to be fucking careful. Don't want to touch that next to that when we've got the hood up, because that's how you cause injuries. Now that that's prepared, we need to connect the earthing cable again. And you know what? We're just gonna fucking go for it. We're not even gonna wait. When we get that there, we're gonna do our first little weld here. Right, you ready, guys? It's all happening. All happening. Oh. Safety first, let's just get this glove on as well. Okay. Where's that not firing then? Right, one sec. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, problem solved. I think I have a little bit of fear going on because it just stopped working earlier and I couldn't work it out, and then it started working again, and I don't know what I did. So I'm noticing how my fear is just interacting with this a little bit. Well, I've got it working again. All that was the problem was that this was not exposed. So you'll see me do that sometimes. I'll be welding and then I'll have to scrape it against the ground, and that's because you need there to be a bit of metal exposed so that you can create the arc. But saying all that, we're now fucking ready. So hood down, glove on, hood down, and let's give it a go. Holy shit. Right, okay. I think it's safe to say this setting is going to be too hot, and I might actually need to dab it. Just hit a small light, go in, go out. But this is it. This is why we're testing right now. Because I can show you for why. Can you see how it's melted a lot into the box section there? You don't really want that. So we're going to turn it right down. We're going to go all the way down to 70. Okay, and now we're going to try again. We're going to do another one just on this side and see how that changes things. Right, see, that's a lot better. You need to go back in, but can you see how it's not fucking melted away all the tube, like in comparison to that one there? So that's because it's not as hot. So let's just clean that up. Let's get that corner fully sealed. I'm just going to need like a little dot there. Get a bit more in there. But sorted. Fucking hell, I'm not gonna lie, this is so exciting. Right, we're gonna try and get a much cleaner one on this side. And we're gonna try a different technique. I'm gonna try just dabbing it, going in and out, almost doing spot welds all the way along. Let's try that. So that actually works really nicely. The material's not so damaged. I think that's maybe how we'll do it. We'll carry on practicing because we've got this side and then we've got the other side we can practice on. So I'll try just with this whole, because we've got this one last line here, we've got this corner. We'll do some more dots, see how that goes, and then on the other side we'll get it tacked and then we'll try doing the lines again. But I think for the lines it might just be too hot to keep going at it. Again, we'll just keep playing. This is what it's all about, exploring. Yeah, see that method there, I do actually really like, because it gives us a lot more control. But we're gonna try it on the other side anyway, with the line still, because, you know, trying something once and then going, oh no, that doesn't work, I don't think that's a very good method, because actually we might be missing something. So I'm just gonna get one of the OG pieces, and we're gonna do our little setup again, so that we can get that first tack on. And use this little brush here. I'll just time lapse this bit. Right, we're set up, ready to go. Get the glove back on. I'm going to change the electrode first as well. I will probably try doing this with the longer ones as well, because it's good just to get practice and just try different things. At this point in our journey, it's just about exploring, trying things, and just fucking learning. So, let's get the glove on. Let's get this bit. That's it, that was enough. Now these things are getting burnt. Right, it's a bit... No, that'll be fine. A little bit of an angle, it's kind of gone inside it a bit. But really it doesn't matter so much, like, this doesn't need to look crazy pretty. Oh, it just fell off. Okay, let's set that up again. Okay, we're ready to go. Almost, just got to get this glove on. Not as easy with one hand. So maybe I should put the glove on before I grab this bit. It's alright, it's learning. Okay, let's give this a try. Let's just see if we can get this tack on. Fuck. Well, I had to pull off that because my fingers getting a bit too hot. Okay, this is harder than it looks. Okay, it's set up again. Gonna put the gloves on, and I'm gonna hold it and see. Hopefully it won't fall over, so let's get it held. Oh. Right, that is fucking solid. I don't know what attempt this is now, but we're gonna go for it. Sexes! Right, we got there. Fucking hell, we did that first time last time. It shows you. Shows you something. I'm not sure what right now. That's alright. Okay. So that's on there. Tacked on. Ready to be welded. So, we're going to try doing a nice line weld. Now that I've turned the amps down from 110 to 70, which is a big jump. We're going to see how it gets on. If it starts to burn through the whole metal too much, I think I will probably end up just doing spot welds all the way around them. But we're going to try it. We're going to try to do a couple of lines and just see how that gets on. Oh, you fucking bastard! I just dropped it and it's come undone. Right, I'm going to skip this part now because I'm just going to sort this out. Once it's sorted, we'll come back and it will be tacked on and we'll be ready to do some lines. Right, we're now tacked back on. We're going to have a go at doing a nice little line along this side. The amps are down. Let's see how it goes. We might find that we have to just do spot welds all the way around. If that's the case, then that's the case. We'll roll with it. But yeah, let's give it a try. Yeah, it is going to be far too hot to do lines around it. When you're working with thicker metals, you know, I guess that wouldn't necessarily be the case, but since we're working with quite thin metal here, we are just going to have to do spots all the way around, which isn't really a problem. But yeah, I just want to show you, you can see where it's kind of warped the metal. We don't really want that. We want it to be, we want our box section to be nice and flush. Again, it doesn't matter all too much particularly, but it's just more for how I want it to be. So let's try now. We're going to have to swap to a longer stick because I haven't got any more shorter electrodes. So this is going to be more difficult, but let's have a try at doing it with the spot welds. I'm just thinking as well, this video is going to be fairly long, so I'm going to split it up into multiple parts. This is going to be like, yeah, episode 4. I guess it's like preparation really for moving on to doing the real deal. So yeah, let's try this. We can go all the way around this. We've got 2 more sides to go at. We'll do some spot welds. See how this goes. That seems to work a lot better. So yeah, so we've worked out that doing lines with this kind of, with the thinness of this metal and the fact that I can only really go to 70 amps is supposedly the lowest you can go for this electrode. So that won't work, just trying to go in a consistent bead. But if you're going in and then going out, going in again, you can do it that way. So that's the approach we're going to take. This is our practice piece. So you can see the sides are all covered up now, and there is slag on the sides as well, so we'll knock that off. I'm not going to do it now. And yeah, that basically seals it. So there's no rust that can now get in there if I have truly sealed it properly. Looking at it, does seem properly sealed. So yeah, no rush getting in there. That's our little practice piece. And yeah, I think we're going to call it a day there. I'm happy with that. I know what technique I need to do now. I need to go in, out. So basically like multiple spot welds in a line, nice and steady. So yeah, good progress. More difficult than I thought, more time consuming than I thought. But it is the learning phase right now. So this is what it's all about, is literally learning how long the thing's going to take, you know. And things will obviously speed up with time as well, because we are just learning at this point. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, many more to come. Soon enough, we will have this project complete and we'll have our welding table, so I'm buzzing for that. Because right now, obviously, as you can notice, everything's just happening on the floor. So anyway, yeah, lots of love, and yeah, have a good day.